Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining me on this channel, Adults ESL Online Learning. I'm Dr. Hernandez Smith, and in this video we are going to be reading about Black History Month. The title of this is Celebrating Black History Month, February. Warm-up questions. Number 1. When is Black History Month? Black History Month is in February. Number 2, what is the purpose of this observance? The purpose is to learn about Black history, culture, and traditions. Number 3, which countries observe Black History Month? The United States and Canada celebrate Black History Month. Number 4, what is an enslaved person? An enslaved person is a person who is forced to work for no pay, to obey commands, and to lose their freedom. Vocabulary preview. Observance. The celebration of a holiday or ritual. Scholar. A person who studies and knows a lot about a specific subject. Notable. Worth mentioning. Colonial period. Time when Britain maintained control over much of the U.S. Harsh. Very severe. Abolition. The complete removal of something. Safe haven. A place where you feel protected from harm. Discrimination. Unfair treatment due to quality such as race or gender. Oral. Related to the mouth, spoken. Cuisine. A type or style of food. Plantation. A large piece of land where crops are grown and many laborers work. Critic. A person who is against or unsatisfied with something. Dedicate. To put a lot of time and energy into something. Commercialized. Associated with profits. Reading. Black History Month is an observance formerly known as Negro History Week. It was set in motion by Carter G. Woodson in 1926. Woodson was a Black American professor and scholar who felt that Black American history was being forgotten in schools. In 1976, the observance was extended and renamed Black History Month. Throughout the month of February in the United States, Canada, and other parts of the world, students learn about Black history, culture, and traditions. They also learn about notable Black figures. One of the most talked about periods in Black American history is the colonial period. Many Africans were taken against their will to North America in the 16th century. They were forced to live with their slaveholders in British colonies throughout the US and later in Canada. The population of enslaved people grew slowly at first. During the 17th and 18th centuries, America relied heavily on slave labor to build its growing economy. In Canada, enslaved workers were mainly used as domestic servants and farmhands. However, it was costly to maintain slave labor year-round due to the harsh winter. Slavery was legal in North America until the mid-1800s. The abolition movement began gaining popularity in northern regions around 1790. Upper Canada, now Ontario, became a safe haven for enslaved people from the South after the 1793 Abolition Act. Thousands of enslaved people used a system called the Underground Railway to escape to the northern states and Canada. This was a secret route of safe houses that enslaved people used to find freedom. Slavery was abolished across the British Empire by 1833. The abolition of slavery didn't mean the end of discrimination. Equality is something Black people still struggle for today. New languages, music, and recipes were born out of slavery. Enslaved people who had different African languages were often placed together. This required them to come up with their own mixed languages, such as Creole. Uneducated Black Americans popularized oral storytelling. Music forms such as jazz, blues, and swing were also popularized by Black Americans. Later came the hip-hop genre. Black American cuisine, sometimes called soul food, is served at Black History Month gatherings. Like the stories and fables, Black American recipes were passed on orally. Enslaved people living on plantations made use of local crops such as sweet potatoes and okra. They also ate discarded cuts of meat such as pig's feet. Even after gaining freedom, many Black Americans continued to use these ingredients. Not everyone agreed with Woodson's vision back in 1926. Today, Black History Month still has its critics. Some historians and scholars feel that it is wrong to dedicate an entire month to one race and culture. They don't agree with separating Black American studies from general American history. Others feel that this observance forces new generations to take on decades of guilt. Like other holidays and observances, Black History Month has also become commercialized. Practice asking and answering the following questions with your partner. Why did Carter G. Wilson want to develop an official observance called Black History Week? Carter G. Wilson wanted to develop the observance to help students know more about Black American history as well as the contributions that Black Americans have made to American society. What do people typically learn about during Black History Month? People typically learn about Black history, culture, and traditions. They also learn about important Black figures. Why did America rely heavily on enslaved laborers during the colonial period? America relied heavily on enslaved laborers to build an infrastructure that grow the economy. How did slavery in the colonial period differ in Canada and the US? In Canada, it was costly to maintain slave labor year-round because of the harsh winters. It was more common for Canadians to have enslaved workers as domestic servants and farm helpers. In the U.S., enslaved laborers worked in many other areas, such as plantations, mines, and construction. What was the Underground Railway? The Underground Railway, or the Underground Railroad, was a network of safe houses that enslaved people used to move north to find freedom. What effect did slavery have on language? Enslaved people from different regions of Africa got placed together and had to invent new languages to communicate. Why does the reading mention pig's feet? The reading mentions pig feet because this was a type of food that was discarded by whites and used by Black people. It became part of Black American cuisine. Describe one criticism of Black History Month. One criticism of Black History Month is that it separates the period of slavery from the rest of American history. Some feel it is wrong to devote a whole month to one race or culture, and others feel it causes new generations to take on the guilt of their ancestors. It also has become commercialized. Choose vocabulary review. Choose the closest meaning. The enslaved people worked 12-hour days on the cotton plantation. A. Cuisine. B. Labor. C. Farm. My grade school teacher became a history scholar after I graduated. A. Researcher. B. Critic. C. Opponent. A. Researcher. Canada was a safe haven to many Black people after escaping slavery. A. Retreat. B. Railway. C. School. The closest is retreat. Most families on our street had domestic servants when I was growing up. A. Slaveholders. B. Maids. C. Waitresses. The true abolition of enslaved people came later in the South. A. Disadvantage. B. Discrimination. C. Discontinuation. It was a harsh winter, so nothing grew on the plantation. A. Severe. B. Fruitful. C. Laborious. Being followed to fight in the war was a notable achievement for a Black American. A. Commercial. B. Remarkable. C. Necessary. B. Remarkable. Well, thank you so much again for joining me in this video. I hope that you were able to practice your English and learn a little bit about Black History Month and why we observe it here in the US and in Canada. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.